Hello everyone, Recap by Myth Channel is welcome. I'm narrator Dan. Today I'm going to explain a Japanese post-apocalyptic action film called Attack on Titan. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Over 100 years ago, gigantic, monstrous humanoids called the Titans suddenly appeared on Earth. They fed on any humans they could get their hands on. Humans were no longer at the top of the food chain, and soon their population started to decrease. Even after many civilizations were wiped out, mankind hadn't found a way to fight the Titans. So instead, they settled on limiting their freedom to stay safe. The surviving humans built massive concentric walls, taller than the Titans, around a large area to prevent invasion. 2 circular walls were constructed, one inside the other, to ensure double protection. The outer area was called the Outer District, and the inner area was called the Inner District. Inside those walls, they could live a peaceful life. However, the walls didn't guarantee protection. Even after 100 years, people still lived in fear of the Titans. The protagonist of the movie is a young man named Eren Yeager, who lives in the Outer District. He dreams of going beyond the wall someday to explore the world. He frequently talks about the seas and oceans of the outside world to his friends. Armin and Mikasa, one day, they decide to go to the border and try climbing the wall to jump to the other side. When they get closer, the group is shocked by the sheer size of the wall. Armin and Mikasa are skeptical of the idea, claiming that Titans could still be out there, but Eren insists that it has been 100 years since anyone has seen them. With no humans to feed on, they've probably died off. Their conversation is cut short when Border Patrol arrives to arrest them for getting too close to the wall. Eren, infuriated by the police trying to capture his friends, starts fighting them, completely ignoring the fact that he could be executed for this crime. Just then, Captain Suda approaches and tells the soldiers to back down. He promises to punish the group personally and sends the others away. Suda understands Eren's desire for freedom, but criticizes his actions as childish. Captain Suda then informs the group of a military plan to explore beyond the walls. He explains that the government has sent some soldiers outside to inspect the situation, so that Eren doesn't have to put his life in danger. All of a sudden, a loud explosion startles everyone. An earthquake follows, and the ground begins to shake. The group retreats as the wall trembles aggressively. Then, a massive Titan appears on the other side. It lets out a loud screech and begins kicking the wall. The patrol officers watch in fear, unable to do anything to stop the creature. The Titan finally breaks through the wall and disappears into a cloud of smoke. Everything goes silent for a few seconds. Then chaos erupts as many more Titans enter the city. The soldiers attack the monsters with cannonballs, but they do little to no harm. The Titans appear to have powerful regenerative abilities, healing from their wounds at an incredible speed. Soon, the Titans reach the soldiers and begin devouring them one by one. One soldier even commits suicide, saying it's better than dying at the hands of the monsters. Panic spreads. People run for their lives as the Titans destroy houses and grab as many humans as they can. Armin gets lost in the crowd, while Eren and Mikasa run toward the town church where many are seeking shelter. Mikasa notices a small child on the ground, about to be trampled by the fleeing crowd. She rushes to save the child, but gets separated from Eren in the process. Eren is dragged into the church just as the people close its entrance, refusing to let anyone else in. From the church window, Eren watches helplessly as Mikasa is approached by a terrifying female Titan with huge, sharp teeth. Mikasa realizes she has no escape and lowers her head, accepting her fate. Just then, a massive explosion sends everyone inside the church flying backward. When Eren looks out the window again, both Mikasa and the Titan are gone. He rushes outside in search of Mikasa, only to find the smoking ruins of the city that was once his home. As Eren turns around, he sees the Titans tearing the church apart and devouring everyone inside. He wanders in shock. Eren wanders hopelessly through the destroyed city. Cut to 2 years later. All survivors from the previous Titan attack have moved to the Inner District. The military is now planning to reclaim the Outer District. Due to the mass of refugees moving inward and the abandonment of fertile farmlands outside the walls, a food shortage has begun. People are dying of starvation, and if nothing is done, everyone will eventually perish. Their only hope for survival is to retake the Outer District and repair the broken wall. The director of the military forces, Kubal, gives a heartfelt speech and calls a girl named Hans to the stage. She is the leading expert on a new weapon developed by the troops. Hans presents the omnidirectional mobility gear, which she claims will allow them to fight Titans more effectively. However, during the demonstration, she accidentally injures one of her own soldiers. Among the military crowd are Eren and Armin, both of whom survived the Titan attack 2 years ago and have since joined the military. Eren is driven by the desire to avenge the death of the woman he loved. Mikasa, Captain Suda, also survived, but he has become a broken man. Now a food distributor for the army. He drinks heavily and has lost the will to fight. The military plans to invade the outer district at night when they believe the Titans will be asleep. Their mission: seal the breach through which the Titans invaded, eliminate any remaining monsters, and reclaim their land. Hans instructs everyone to move slowly and avoid making noise, as the Titans are extremely sensitive to sound. The entrance to the outside district opens, and the army rolls out in military vans. Suddenly, the captain halts the convoy. He senses movement ahead. The soldiers slowly scan the surroundings, only to find cows roaming the ruined city. One soldier named Heine hears a baby's cry and, against orders, decides to investigate, putting herself in danger. Eren follows her, and together they enter a destroyed building. As they move deeper inside, the crying grows louder. Then, suddenly, a slimy liquid drips onto Hina. They look up in horror. Above them is a massive baby Titan. They spot a massive baby Titan, and it's eating a human. The grotesque baby falls right in front of Eren and Hina. Crying loudly, horrified, they flee the building. Outside, the noise causes panic among the soldiers, but the captain urges them to stay quiet and not attract any Titans. Suddenly, a giant hand appears out of nowhere and grabs the captain. The Titans have awakened. Now in grave danger, Eren and Hina rush toward the group as a monstrous Titan chases them. The soldiers sprint toward their vehicles, but Commander Kubal, sensing the impending threat, cowardly escapes with the only vehicle carrying weapons and gear. From the vehicle, Hans calls out, "Mietau Krenda Gidao, one pro one ins," urging the group to retreat to a nearby abandoned building. The soldiers rush there but find themselves surrounded by Titans before they can enter. Just as hope begins to fade, a blur slices through the air. A Titan-slaying warrior appears, Captain Shikishima, leader of the scout regiment. Using the omnidirectional mobility gear, he strikes the Titan's weak spot at the back of the neck, killing them mid-air. He's accompanied by a skilled female warrior, equally deadly in combat. The dead Titans collapse and begin to evaporate. Eren watches the female fighter closely and is shocked to recognize her. It's Mikasa. She gives no sign of recognizing Eren. Instead, as she smiles at Shikishima, then follows him into the building. The remaining soldiers follow suit. Inside, it's revealed that Commander Kubal appointed Shikishima to assist with the mission. Shikishima saved Mikasa's life 2 years ago and trained her in Titan combat. Since then, they've fought side by side. Living among Titans, Mikasa has grown hardened. She no longer wishes to connect with people from her past, including Eren. Later, a soldier blames Eren for attracting the Titans earlier. Tensions flare and a fight breaks out. Mikasa intervenes, breaking it up. Shikishima approaches Eren, asking his name, then asserts dominance by pulling Eren aside for a private chat. Eren tells Shikishima he wants to learn how to kill Titans, blaming the monsters for trapping humanity inside the walls. Shikishima laughs. "No," he says. "Humans trap themselves, not the Titans." Shikishima laughs, telling Eren that humans, not the Titans, are responsible for their plight. Their fear and cowardice led them to this situation. He insults Eren, calling him a coward. When Eren denies this accusation, Shikishima challenges him to let go of his fear and fight the Titans for his freedom. Determined to prove himself, Eren goes looking for Mikasa. He finds her playing a broken piano in solitude. He tries to reconnect with her, but Mikasa seems indifferent to his efforts. She reveals that the death of the baby she had been caring for changed her. Since then, she's become a different person. Mikasa shows Eren a bite mark on her body, a wound left by the Titan attack. Before they can talk further, Shikishima interrupts, feeding Mikasa an apple with his hand, an obvious display of his affection for her. Heartbroken, Eren runs outside, screaming in anguish. The Mikasa he once knew is gone. His only love, the person he swore to protect, is no longer the same. At that moment, Heine approaches Eren and comforts him. The two return inside the building and engage in conversation, as another couple nearby share an intimate moment. Hina, deeply emotional, tells Eren about her daughter back in the inner district. Then, without warning, she tries to seduce him. She forces herself on him, but they are interrupted when a giant titan suddenly stares at them through the window. The titan pulls Hina toward its mouth, dragging her away before Eren can act. Watching helplessly, Eren sees his friend being devoured by the monster. Other titans approach the building. Shikishima, Mikasa, and the other soldiers quickly gear up and engage the creatures in battle. While Shikishima and Mikasa take down most of the titans, others are severely injured. This is their first real combat experience. Explosives become their only hope for dealing with the titans. Commander Kubel orders the soldiers to protect them. Meanwhile, the couple who were previously making out are attacked. The man is killed, and his devastated lover vows to avenge his death by slaying the titan that killed him. A figure climbs into the vehicle carrying the explosives. The woman, overcome with grief, decides to sacrifice herself. She jumps into the driver's seat, takes control of the vehicle, and drives off. The woman in the vehicle drives directly toward the titan that killed her lover. The explosion causes the titan's legs to blow off, but the attack fails as the titan's legs regenerate quickly. The only way to kill a titan is to strike its weak spot. Meanwhile, Eren remains on top of a building, still struggling to help defeat the titans. He recalls Shikishima's words from earlier and decides to use the spring-loaded gear to engage the titans. At first, he struggles, but eventually lands his first kill, with a little help from Shikishima. However, he loses his balance and ends up flying straight into another titan's mouth. The titan bites off one of Eren's legs, but Eren manages to save himself by jumping onto a rooftop. As Eren recovers, a titan grabs Armin while he's trying to escape. The others try to save him as the titan prepares to eat Armin. Eren, despite his pain, doesn't give up and drags himself towards the edge of the building. With one final leap, he dives into the titan's mouth, holding it open, and manages to save Armin from being devoured. In the process, Eren falls into the titan's stomach. There, he lies amidst several dead bodies, one of which is Hina. On a nearby rooftop, Mikasa and the others are informed of Eren's death. Mikasa is devastated and struggles to hide her emotions. Furious, she takes on the remaining titans and kills them all. But she runs out of fuel mid-battle and falls to the ground. The titan that ate Eren earlier approaches Mikasa, preparing to kill her. But, to her shock, a hand emerges from the titan's mouth. The titan's body explodes, revealing another titan inside. This newly formed titan begins to fight the other titans and takes them down one by one. The remaining soldiers watch in awe as they realize that the new titan is, in fact, Eren, after defeating the other titans. The titan form of Eren approaches the building with aggressive intent. He seems to have lost all memory of who he is and begins killing everyone in sight. The soldiers, terrified, begin to retreat except for Mikasa, who calls out Eren's name. Despite her plea, Eren doesn't stop. He grabs Mikasa, and as he looks at her, his memories begin to return. Eren, in his titan form, recognizes Mikasa, and then his body falls lifeless to the ground. As he dies, he starts to evaporate just like the other titans. Mikasa quickly slices open his weak spot, and to everyone's shock, the human Eren emerges from the titan body. Miraculously, he has regrown his leg due to the titan's regenerative powers. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.